Good morning. My name's Thomas Oliver. I am the treasurer of the congregation, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm wearing a little bit more sparkly stuff today because I'm celebrating Oster, which actually was on Friday. Oster is the spring equinox festival that pagans celebrate. We'll be having Easter later in April, which is the Christian version. Unitarian Universalists are a community of people who hold many beliefs, many origins, identities, sexualities, and gender. We uphold and celebrate the inherent dignity and worth of every person, which means you are welcome as you are. Even if you need glasses to read. Love is the power that holds us together as we gather in community to seek life's deeper meanings and to celebrate the diversity of all living things. We are all growing with and learning from one another. If you are here for the first time, we bid you a special welcome. After the service, I'll be over in that area. If you have any questions that you wish to ask about Unitarian Universalism or our congregation, or if you have questions about how to become involved in our community, just ask. I also encourage you to explore our website, tahomauu.com. At that website, you can sign up for our weekly e-news that includes information about the important and fun events going on in congregational life and how you can participate. There is so much happening at Tahoma UU, and I only have one announcement this time, and I want to talk about it being fun. The announcement is that there's going to be a No Kings rally this coming Saturday. And if you meet here at 11:30, you can carpool and park here and carpool to Wright Park. There's actually a number of these activities in the Tacoma area. And, one of the things, having been to some of these before, one of the things that I find heartening about them is that they have elements of fun in them. There are very witty signs and people wearing awesome clothes, and it is a good experience to be with others who know that the direction of our government is questionable at best. You're also invited to join us for social hour immediately following the service, right over there by the windows. For those of you who are newer to our community, we have red coffee mugs. For those of you who would like to identify yourself as someone who us old folks can approach and talk to. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but the red mugs hold more coffee. If you are someone who would benefit from a large print hymnal or a hearing assistance device, they're available at the back of the sanctuary on this side. We want to remind everyone that our services are available through Zoom and posted to YouTube, which means if you come up front, your image may appear on those venues. As we begin our service in this beautiful place called Tahoma by local indigenous tribes and nations, I acknowledge that we meet today on the land of Coast Salish people, including the Puyallup tribal nation, land from which they were forcibly displaced. And I recently learned that some 30 or 40 years ago, the federal government had even um, taken away their uh, tribal identity. They had declared that it wasn't really a tribe. They've obviously earned that back, but I honor the resiliency of Indigenous people and stand with them as they continue to protect their culture, land, and water, and fight for their visibility, sovereignty, and very existence. Lastly, please set your electronic devices to worship mode. Let us exhale deeply and settle ourselves into this holy moment of sharing and receiving. Now let us join together in worship.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Margo Rinehart. I'm the minister here at the Tahoma UU congregation. I'm half-time, so you don't see me every Sunday, but it's always so special for me when I'm able to be here. And I think of you even when I'm not here. And I use she, her pronouns. I forgot to put this in the announcements. I just want to remind I want to remind you all, or if you're newer, or maybe you've missed it during other announcements, we have a proposal for brightening up the sanctuary because we're aware that everything is really dark back here. And so there is on this easel over here a proposal. It's a colored generated graphic that we'll vote on in June. So I want people to start getting familiar with it because I don't want you to show up at the June meeting and say, I never heard about this before. I want you to have time to think about it. So when you're getting coffee, pay attention to the murals and the paintings and just the changes and creating bright frames around these beautiful mosaics. So that's my announcement. I want to welcome anybody who's new, and I'm going to grab this microphone and go out. If you're new, if you'd like to, don't feel pressured to do this, but if you'd like to share your name and where you're from, we'd love to hear from you.
My name is Lisa Patterson, and I'm from Valdosta, Georgia, but moved to Tacoma. So
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Welcome. Anybody else? It's hard for me to watch all sides, so I count on you all to. Yeah. Oh, I definitely.
Hello, my name is Janet Van Fleet, and I'm from Tacoma now, M Street, South 8th Street and M, so due north of you. And I'm from the group Uhuru Solidarity Movement, and hope to share that a bit with you all.
So if you want to hear more about that, definitely catch her after the service. Right. Thank you. So for our opening words are from Elena Westbrook, who says, in a world ravaged by violence, sometimes the only thing we can do is be still for a moment to remind ourselves what is real. The sun that rose this morning, the dirt under our feet. This hour, try to just be present in each moment that unfolds. Your simple attention is what makes these moments holy. Sheila will lead us in our chalice lighting.
Good morning. I'm Sheila Liebrow, your celebrant this morning. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm happy to be your celebrant and to be here with Reverend Margo, who does so much behind the scenes, and I'm so grateful that she is our minister. Our chalice lighter this morning is Steph Miller. And Steph has been with us a short time and has been a speaker, and I think is going to be a speaker coming up in May, I believe. So looking forward to that. And then please join me with the words that will presently appear on the screen. We light this chalice in deep respect for the mystery and holiness of life, in honor and gratitude for those who have gone before, with love and compassion for those who dwell among us, and with hope and faith for the generations to come. And our opening hymn is number 347 in the gray hymnal, and Patty will lead us in Gather the Spirit. Stand in body.
Rise in body or spirit as you can or desire. Appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind, bags over the sowing are laid in store, nurture in love and conscience refined, gather spirit united from summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again.
Good morning. This is the part of our service where I ask anyone who has food to donate to the food bank. You might have sat in a seat and saw that there was food next to you. You could just hold it up so the youth can come and grab it for you. This is something we do every week so that the children can be involved in our social justice program. Ooh, a whole lot of chili. All right. Also, while I'm up here, I just want to take a minute to get into an announcement. Saturday the 28th at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., we are having a family night meeting, which is going to be an art night and potluck. So if you have a bunch of little ones and you want to just do some fun things with other families, it's a good time to do it. Of course you can come if you do not have little kids. Yes, yes. There's no bouncer at the door. I'm sorry? No carding. No, no. I don't want to embarrass myself with the 1900s. Okay, is that everybody? Oh. Wait till an entire youth group asks you if you were born in the late 1900s. Oh my goodness. All right. Now it's time to read the story. Today we're reading I Am Jazz. Yeah? Okay. With that, we're going to go downstairs.
I'm Charlie Kaparik, and I'm your chat chaplain today. I'm using he, him pronouns today. We've come to the place in our service when we're asked to keep this wonderful congregation growing and prospering. We do this by sharing our time, talent, and treasure. We can help on various teams that provide vital services in and out of the building and/or financially. For those online, there's a donate button. For those in the sanctuary, the ushers will pass around baskets. There are also baskets up front for safe parking and trans relocation. Thank you all for helping to build a fantastic community.
Please join me in the words of dedication as they appear on the screen. We dedicate ourselves and our offerings to the work of this congregation, weaving a tapestry of love we call community, both within and beyond these walls.
If you will rise in body or spirit and join me in singing hymn 391, voice small, still and small. I will get the words in a minute.
Deep inside all, we hear you call, singing. In storm and rain, sorrow and pain, still we remain singing. Calm now my fears, quenching my tears, through all the years, singing.
I want to say a special thanks to Patty, who's our song leader, and I don't mean to embarrass you, but Patty is singing this morning without the benefit of glasses that actually, can I say, because you had eye surgery, can I just, so she's doing a heroic thing up here, and we are appreciative. I also just want to backtrack to what was going on in here 5 minutes ago as we were singing our kids out, and we had Dave and Bob dancing in the aisle. And then all the smiles I saw when you saw them doing that, and all the smiles I saw later in Marianne's really lovely, fun piece. Doesn't it feel great to smile this morning? Yes, soak it in. So my reading this morning is from the Reverend Sean Parker Dennison, who's one of the co-founders of Trust, and that is with 2 U's for Unitarian Universalism, which is a transgender group for religious professionals within Unitarian Universalism. And Sean is transgender and serves a congregation in Ashland, Oregon. I've chosen this reading to honor Transgender Visibility Day, which is March 31st. I give thanks for this body, my trans body. I give thanks for the scars and missing pieces and inability to feel at home here, which kept me restless and undaunted. I give thanks for my body and what has marked it because it made it holy and unique. Yes, brave. I bless my own body, and that blessing is mine. It does not extend past the surface of my skin. It does not substitute for anyone. It does not ask for forgiveness for being. I will break bread only with those who know that breaking and blessing are one thing, who worship the breaking open, the broken down, who refuse to be given away, but give themselves over to the blessing of being embodied and sacred and free. I will dine with the people who know all the ways to bless and break and give well to each other, who take and eat and give everything at this table, who do not need another kind of communion or any other kind of paradise or anyone's permission to be free. I'm just going to grab my water glass. So for 10 months out of the year, there is a worship packet and there's a packet for the children's program going on downstairs and a packet for our small group ministries, Chalice Circles. So there's a theme every month, and March's theme is paying attention. It's also the month, oh, and a little bit about paying attention. On the back of your order of service are a bunch of things going on around here. So take that home with you. Pay attention if there's anything in there that pulls on your heartstrings. Especially excited about art night this Saturday night because you can come and hang out and do art and potluck and just enjoy yourself and the walking groups. So March is also the month of daffodils in full bloom, blossoms in the trees, and a lot of mud on the ground. And as I mentioned before, at the end of the month, March 31st, it is Transgender Visibility Day. And I'm really aware that Transgender Visibility Day is happening at a time when trans people are under attack. And for many, there are situations where they do not want to appear visible. Even though they are that beautiful yellow daffodil, there are some times when they don't want to call attention to themselves right now. March is always a time of opposites, the joy of blooming and slogging through the mud in the fields and the flower beds. We are still creating. I always have that dilemma. Is it warm enough to go out, or is it stay inside with a book? It's always the two ends. The earth is creating and something new is always coming out of that deep winter mud. Today, Lauren Erhardt and I are going to help you think about visibility, what it means in your life and in the lives of people around you. I also like to think of the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh, who would often tell his students, no mud, no lotus. Because at the bottom of the lotus plant, the roots stick down in this slimy, stinky mud where they suck up the nutrients the plant needs to produce those beautiful blooms up on the top of the pond. So much of that plant is not visible until you look deeply. Sometimes it's so muddy down there, it's impossible to see at all, or at least for a time. But the flower is visible, but it's those unglamorous, unsung roots that are getting the job done. So what about us? More specifically, what about you? What are we doing floating up here to be visible? I want to mention, and I think a lot about this, and I want your thoughts on it too. But in the past 14 months, we've had a lot of new people come through the doors here. The first wave came right after the 2024 election. There were also transgender folks who came looking for community after they had fled other states, Texas and Alabama, are two that I'm aware of, two states I'm aware of. And I got a lot of email from transgender people who said, are you a place where I can come and feel safe? And I answered all those emails and connected some people to our translocation relocation fund coordinator, Karna. So more people sprinkled in over time. And then in January, after Minneapolis was invaded, more people came through the door looking. And as people come in, I have been trying to ask you what you're looking for. And I want to ask if you're finding it. How can we help you as a community find what you're looking for? I have done a very informal poll of what people are looking for right now, and not just our new people. And it really coalesces around three themes. The first one is a community where people can come and feel emotionally and physically safe. You would think that would be such a given, and yet it's not. Secondly, for people with children, a community that teaches compassion for others and validates the inherent worth of all of our neighbors. Third, where truth is spoken and where you can safely speak the truth. A place where we can be safe regardless of our identities, and a place where we can speak honestly about how we are doing and what we believe, both in terms of our spirituality and also what we believe about what is going on around us, the harm being caused. A place where there's a visibility of fear, of hope, of dreams, a visibility for identities that don't need to be hidden away. And that feeling is sanctuary. What we want here is our sanctuary. And there have been people who have been here for decades building that as time has gone on. And then there are new people coming in our doors that are making additional contributions. So we are all upholding that sanctuary, and it belongs to all of us. I hope this can be this place for you, whether you're new, whether you've been attending for years. And of course, we are not perfect. And honestly, I would hope that we never hold ourselves to that standard, because we won't get there. We will make mistakes. We will make reparations. And of course, I hope we all feel like we are at least good enough and continuing to improve how accepting and caring that we can be. So come in and stay for a long while. I am now going to invite Lauren up to speak to us to tell a more personal story about visibility and what that's meant in Lauren's journey. Oh, I was looking for you in your favorite spot. You were...
I'm just sneaky like that. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Lauren Erhardt, and my pronouns are they, them. I don't do a lot of public speaking, so thank you for your patience with me. So this morning, I would like to talk with you all about the importance of visibility. So we hear about visibility a lot, it seems. We often think of a visibility for safety. We see that in our daily lives. Roadwork crews, they wear their high-vis orange vests so distracted drivers see them. We're aware of visibility when we drive slowly through residential neighborhoods and keep our heads on a swivel so we can watch for children playing. We tell our children, be safe, be seen, when they go out trick-or-treating or with their friends to the park. To be visible is to be safe. We think about visibility in terms of recognition, and we also see that in our daily lives. Regardless of what one thinks of tagging and other types of graffiti, we've all seen names painted all over town on rail cars and overpasses in 6-foot-tall, highly visible letters. Celebrities and politicians build their entire careers and livelihoods off of being visible. Corporations love to have their names in enormous illuminated signs at the top of their glittering glass skyscrapers. See me, recognize me. Digital billboards shout that into the night. To be visible is to be recognized. We think about visibility as existing. The English language, and just about every human language, is filled with evidence of how important visibility is to recognizing that things exist. Show me the money, we say, or I'll believe it when I see it. To hide things, we sweep them under the rug. And what is out of sight is out of mind. If you come from a Christian tradition, you may even remember the gospel story of Thomas, who doubted the resurrected Jesus and had to see it with his own eyes. There is a difference between being told about something and seeing it for yourself. To be visible is to exist. And sometimes it's easy to forget about the importance of visibility in the social sense. We are human beings, Homo sapiens. We are an incredibly adaptable and highly social animal. We evolved our massive brains and cognitive prowess to help us manage and maintain our complex and large social and cultural lives. As the loneliness epidemic that as the loneliness epidemic that our society struggles with shows us, humans do not do well when we are isolated from community. We build our systems, our laws, and our nations based on who is visible and who is not. It is not difficult to find unjust systems in the world today that render some invisible and perpetuate injustice. If you aren't seen, then you don't count. To be visible is to matter. For minority and marginalized groups, whether or not they're visible is not just a matter of companionship or emotional well-being. Being visible can mean the difference between having your rights respected or not. Being visible can mean the difference between access or not to opportunities. For folks like myself who fall under the LGBTQ umbrella, a lack of visibility can erase our existence. And I think about that sometimes with my own personal experience. I was born in the 1900s, back in the 1980s, and most of my formative years were in the 90s. 30 plus years ago, there was essentially zero visibility of trans and gender nonconforming folks in our culture. And what little there was were very harmful stereotypes and misunderstandings. Personally, I was already an adult by the time I had the opportunity to learn that gender wasn't this rigid monolithic thing. I discovered that not only were there people who lived outside the binary of their assigned gender, but that they've also been here all along. To be visible is to be found by others like ourselves. When I began my own journey of self-reflection and discovery, I put a great amount of effort into trying to find out if how I felt and perceived myself was shared. I found communities of other non-binary and trans people. I learned about the ancient Assyrians and the modern-day Samoans whose cultures recognize 3 genders. I learned about Joan of Arc, who was burned at the stake for dressing and presenting as a man. I learned about the public universal friend, an 18th century Quaker preacher who eschewed their birth name and refused all pronouns after a profound spiritual experience. I discovered that I was not alone. I discovered that not fitting neatly into one of 2 pre-assigned gender boxes did not mean that there was something wrong with me. I discovered that it is okay to live in an authentic way, and you're a healthier and happier person for doing so. Being visible can be revelational. Going forward, I would like to invite this congregation to take some time out of our busy lives and to think about visibility and ask ourselves who is and who is not visible in our own community. Who is visible to us in our own city and our neighborhoods? In our culture and our daily lives, who do we see? From the struggling veteran who lives with physical and emotional scars, to the unhoused family living in their car, from a trans person grappling with increasingly hostile rhetoric and calls for violence against them, to ethnic and racial minorities who live under systemic injustice. I call upon us all to put in the work and learn how to walk in the world with our eyes open so that we may see each other. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you for sharing such a personal journey. I'm going to close this sermon portion with a poem from Arab American poet Naomi Shahib Nye called The Red Brocade. And it's about really seeing the person in front of you. The Arabs used to say, when a stranger appears at your front door, feed them for 3 days before asking them who they are, where they're from, where they're headed. That way, they will have enough strength to answer. Or by then, you'll be such good friends, you don't care. Let's go back to that. Rice, pine nuts. Here, take the red brocade pillow. My child will serve water to your horse. No, I was not busy when you came. I was not preparing to be busy. That's the armor everyone put on to pretend they had a purpose in the world. I refuse to be claimed. Your plate is waiting, and we will snip fresh mint into your tea. So I invite you into Lauren's invitation to you to think about visibility over the next few days and weeks, and who gets to be visible and who doesn't, and what the costs and the consequences may be. I'll read it again at the end. All right, so maybe, well, let's just pause and set our intention. Just close your eyes. Because I'm really aware we give you words, words, words. So just sit for a moment, eyes closed. And think about how you're going to explore the visibility of yourself and other people. There's a lot of us who plan to be visible at the No Kings rallies. There will be millions of us. Millions. We'll also have the opportunity in June to be at Pride at Wright Park. We will have a table there. We'll need volunteers to staff it. Amen. And by the way, amen just means so be it. All right. So Sheila will lead us in our closing hymn. Patty.
The closing hymn is 146 in the gray hymnal. Hopefully the words will be here, but it's always good to have a backup. I didn't know that the words disappeared on that hymn. Soon the day will arrive when we will be together, and no longer will we live in fear, and the children will smile without wondering with, on that day thunderclouds will appear. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Some have dreamed, some have died to make a bright tomorrow, and our vision remains in our heart. Now the torch has been passed with hope and love, promise to make a new start. Wait and see what a world that can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Wait and see what a world that can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Thank you all.
So Dave wants to hear the poem again. I like the part about the horse and the mint tea. And it is called the red brocade if you go to look it up. And just think, we were all this person coming through this door. Every single one of us had to come here for the first time, and me included. And I remember how nervous I was. I knew it was going to be a wonderful experience. I knew we were going to be a good match. The search team did such a nice job of representing you, but it made me nervous, and you were also lovely and welcoming. And if you are newer and we haven't welcomed you the way we would like to in our hearts, just give us a second chance and we will try to do better. The Arabs used to say, when a stranger appears at your door, feed them for 3 days before asking them who they are, where they're from, where they're headed. That way, they'll have enough strength to answer you. Or by then, you'll be such good friends you don't care. Let's go back to that. Rice, pine nuts. Here, take the red brocade pillow. My child will serve water to your horse. No, I was not busy when you came. I was not preparing to be busy. That's the armor everyone put on to pretend they had a purpose in the world. I refuse to be claimed. Your plate is waiting, and we will snip fresh mint into your tea. May it be so. Blessed be.
Please join me in the words we use to extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And please rise as you are able, and we'll sing our closing blessing song.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. Go now in peace.